For an international race, it seemed like who is the best one to crown a champion? It's the Queen of England. We have an English villain. We have some British agents.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
And then thinking about Mater with the Queen of England, oh my gosh. We have all this great sort of conflict and drama culminating in exactly the right spot.
When we first knew that London was going to be a location, we went on a research trip there. One of the things we were noticing about the street scene, the double-decker buses are almost like huge red buildings moving back and forth, and the black taxi cabs make the London streetscape distinctive.
Along with all the main characters that we had to design for this film, we had to design background characters for every location we go to.
As soon as you take cars internationally, you have to populate the entire world. Every place we're going to go, you have to populate with cars from that country.
And so my job, of course, was to go out and photograph every car that I saw on the street. So at one point on a busy city street in London, I positioned myself at a corner and I made a graph of every type of car that I saw. And I just did a little tick mark and took kind of a running survey of everything I saw.
And then it was just looking at the city streets. We had a race route designed, we drove around quite a few parts of it, and then looked at the iconic imagery that'll be part of the race route.
There were so many icons in London that we were really excited to get into the movie. There's, of course, Buckingham Palace and the Queen and the palace guards, the royal guards with the big black furry hats. It was always one of those things I wanted to have in the film. We figured out a way to kind of fit it in. Mater, let's go! You're on!
The plot kind of unfolds on the Queen's platform. We studied a lot of historical images of the royal family viewing things from that balcony of Buckingham Palace where everyone is surrounding the Victoria Monument. So we really tried to recreate in our cars vernacular the whole set there based on the real place.
The whole England scene culminates in unraveling all the clues that we've left beforehand.
Mater will escape and be running to McQueen. Finn will escape, realizing what's happening, and over the radio tell Mater that he is the bomb.
We created London so that the Cars characters could get out into the everyday streets.
So we want to have this whole daisy chain of cars lining after each other. We want Mater to run off the actual race course into the city streets. Panic ensues.
So we had to design London, which is huge. It's like 75,000 buildings.
It's also that the architecture style is very sort of ornate.
Georgian and Victorian and Edwardian styles that are actually complicated and difficult to build in the computer.
Doing it by hand, we calculated would have taken about 700 years. So we decided we needed some new method for generating buildings that would cut down on that time. And what would a London look like that was populated by a sea of these buildings and all the landmarks that people are familiar with? And then we constructed architectural rules, essentially, that govern how these buildings would be able to put themselves together. And also, we could influence what a building did when it was sort of growing itself.
We've got architecture and set dressing and vegetation, and right now we're working on a lot of the graphics.
The graphics team designed literally hundreds of these beautiful signs and graphics.
We definitely wanted to put in some elements that scream Britain. So I've been working with Jude Brownbill, who's an animator.
And you say highway or freeway, but we say motorway.
Motorway.
I was the official British English translator. And they wanted to make sure that when they carified things, that there was language and maybe British puns in there that hopefully the audience in England would enjoy.
In Radiator Springs, we had like a popsicle dipsticks or like chocolate-covered dipsticks. Is there any equivalent that you could think of for
like a sweet
England
treat?
Yeah,
thing?
we call it popsicle.
Popsicle, yeah. So we call it ice latte. Cool.
It really makes Jude delighted, so I'm hoping that the same will go for audiences.
Everywhere you look, each detail is thought out, and that's always been the goal, that wherever the audience looks, that the detail is all there. There's no kind of lapse in care.
When I see the sequences that are set in London, I'm a little bit homesick because it's so well researched. The buildings, the architecture, the signs, the layout, the traffic. You know, everything about it reminds me of home, I guess.